guys, it's Nash.
And it's Nish.
And welcome to our channel.
If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
And make sure to click the bell button to get notified every time we post a new video. For this vlog, we'll be talking about the upcoming college entrance tests in the Philippines. So my sister actually took the CETS a couple of years back. So what was the atmosphere like when you took it?
During CETS season, everyone's trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives, where they want to go to college, what course they want to take up. But some people go to the coffee shops but to study. Everyone's asking, oh, how are you reviewing for this set? What's your review center? Are you done with all your set requirements, etc.? So it's a very exciting time for everyone, yet it's also very nerve-wracking. How about you, Nash? What's your set story?
The year of me taking the CETS, I actually had commitments during the summer. It was a pretty big commitment, so I couldn't juggle it with the review center at the same time. So I ended up having to take review classes in the middle of the first semester of senior year. It was pretty difficult because I had a 7-day schedule, because 5 days a week I was in school, and then I also had review center from around the same time I was supposed to be in school during Saturdays and Sundays. And in addition to that, other commitments also. I had training after school, very draining experience for me. I remember I missed one set review class.
Dead!
The consequences were very extreme.
Nash kasi, her review center schedule is every Saturday and Sunday, the whole day. And if you miss a class, you have to take a makeup class. So if it doesn't fit the branch nga, you have to go somewhere else to take the class. In her case, we had to travel all the way to Laguna just for her to take a makeup class. It's really tiring, and it's a team effort, it's a family effort. Ginawa na rin namin siyang out of town.
It's okay because in the end, all of it worked out well, and I was able to do well in my college entrance test. I'm not too sure regarding the subject areas per set anymore, but from what I recall, math and English were the two subjects that showed up in every single set. UP had Filipino, LaSalle leaned more on research and stat. Ateneo's test had a lot of really time-pressuring exercises. The OSTET was hard because there was a lot of science. I think the OSTET actually has more exams depending on what course you apply for. The amount of time it will take varies based on your course.
So for this vlog, we will be sharing with you some tips on how you can prepare for your college entrance examinations. We'll be sharing with you what you can do before the exam, during the exam, and after the exam. I graduated from high school in 2014, and Nash just recently graduated from high school also. I'll be sharing my tips, and she'll be sharing her own learnings as well. Before you take the college entrance exam,
our tip number 1 is that you research regarding the coverage of each exam that you will take.
Research, research, research. That's the key. Research on colleges that you want to apply for. Subject matter or the topics of that college entrance exam, the requirements for each one, and the schedule.
Make sure that the course you want is something you're really committed to so that you can execute your task for this application process without flaws.
Tip number 2, optional. If you can enroll in a review center, it could help you.
You just have to research once again on which review center would be most appropriate for you. What do you value? The quality of their materials? Do you value the quality of their teachers when they teach? It's all up to you.
My review center was LSC in Katipunan, just because during that time, they had really good reviews and they had a very comprehensive set of materials. Upon enrollment, they gave us 11 books for English, science, math, and general knowledge.
I went to brain drain for different reasons. I also had to wake up very early on Saturdays and Sundays in order to get to class. I chose to go to a review center that was convenient in terms of location. Second, brain drain also had very good reviews in terms of their teaching styles. They had methods that really did stick with me even while I was taking the sets. Teachers were also very helpful and the review materials were good.
When choosing a review center, it's important that you research on materials, reviews, passing rate, para it's really sulit for you.
Our tip number 3 is to make sure you manage your time wisely. CETS season can be draining considering that you're juggling all your academic workload, your extracurricular activities alongside the application process for CETS and the review process as well. It's important to manage your time so that you know how much minutes to allot for a certain task to be done and in order to excel in all your commitments.
For example, when I was in high school, I was in theater, so we had rehearsals every after school. So I end at 6 p.m. every day. So after school, of course, I have to prioritize my current academics and current homework. So I have to do that. And after that, that's the only time I can review for my sets. I had to really segment my time and allot time for what's more important. I'm so thankful that my parents were there to help me with all my set requirements.
It's nice to be very vigilant about your deadlines in order to submit everything on time and ensure that you won't get left behind. There may be times wherein there will be clashes in terms of your schedule. For me, sometimes I admit that I wasn't able to go to a certain meeting or go to training because it was very hard for me to balance having a long test or an exam or a midterm, all while having to review for the sets. When this happens, it's important to have a list of your priorities and to know where every single one of your commitments lie in this list.
Also, this is the time where everyone gets hit by senioritis. Di mo na alam, mag-aaral ba ako para sa ACADS ko, para sa college entrance exam. This is a really tempting period. You just don't know what to do sometimes, but you know, you have to be able to have that discipline and be able to manage your time and really encourage yourself to do everything. I think I remember si Nash. Pag uwi niya, tagal ng resting period niya. Like, mga 2 hours. Start pa lang siya mag-homework ng what? 9 p.m.? And
To be fair, I was in a very tiring sport and I would get home at around 7:50 and freshen up, so my timeline is a little bit different. My sister has unrealistic standards because she was asleep at 11 p.m. every single night of her high school life. I didn't know how she did it, but I couldn't do it. I slept at 2, I slept at 1. Very challenging process, but it's okay. We both got through it. And you will too.
No set rule naman na, oh, this is the time frame that you have to follow. Tiwala lang. Tip number 4. Organize your notes. Very important. Can't work naman na if unorganized and cluttered, etc. Use your highlighter, use your ball pens. I get to memorize things better when I write them down.
Sometimes, when you're at review center or when you're reading all these review materials, it can seem to be an overload of information. But what you have to do is extract the information you think you'll need. It's hopefully going to be the information on the exam.
You will never know.
Master the basics because those are the things that are probably going to show up in the exam.
Syempre, everyone has their own ways of writing notes. But we're just saying na maybe it's better if you really organize your notes, like color-code it, underline it.
Personally, I really value my notes, whether they may be for school or for sets. So I had a pencil case full of different colors so that when I color-code my notes, it will look very neat. And some might even say that I'm a little dedicated. So who knows, maybe I'll make a ballpen haul vlog in the future. So make sure you click like and subscribe. And click the bell button below to get notified when we post a new video so that you don't miss that. I had different color highlighters, glitter pens, and then I had gel pens. And I always made sure that I had these materials to help me.
I think this is too OA. This is intense.
Materials should not be an excuse for you to not make your notes. Here I have my notebooks that I used for the sets review. Make sure you watch until the end of this video because we'll be including a link for my math and science reviewers.
Continue watching. You can treat your notes as your handbook. Bring it around with you. It's not as thick as your review materials, like this thick. The compressed version. When you're traveling, you're sipping coffee, when you're bored, when you have extra time, you can always review your notes.
This is an example of a page in my notebook. So for the very first page, I actually wrote the common terms that I need to know, like what does congruent mean, what does similar mean. Let's move on to tip number 5. Repetition is key.
So always review your notes. Sometimes it works nga if you keep rewriting it.
Note that you cannot just build on your weaknesses. It's also important to build on your strengths. So in Filipino, galingan mo sa lahat.
Okay. Another thing to note is try to apply the lessons in real life. Like for example, math. May makita kang triangle sa billboard or something. Try mo decipher what kind of triangle is that. How do you compute for an area of a triangle? Learn the concept and be able to apply it. So when you see it on a test paper, even if it's in a different format, you'll be able to understand, and this is the formula for this one.
Ow, I hit my clavicle. There are X amount of bones in the body. Something like that.
Okay. Medyo weirdo talaga to si Nash. But yeah,
It
makes
works.
sense. Tip number 6 is
Don't panic. Easier said than done. Both of us really panic.
I think this is the hardest tip to do. When sets are nearing na, you're just panicking. Like, oh, what do I do? What's the quadratic formula? What's the answer to this? Like that. And it's really, really hard to not panic.
Panicking can also lead to overstudying during the days wherein you're not supposed to be studying anymore. Have faith in yourself that you learned and that you already know what you're supposed to know. Because if you still don't know it, it's too late.
And I remember, I think kasabihan to nung high school kami. Sabi sa amin, on the day before your exam, dapat you're just chill. You should be enjoying your life. Netflix ka na. Because honestly, pag mag-review ka pa on that day, wala na eh. Wala nang papasok.
And you've done what you can. Which leads us to our last step. Make sure to pray.
You have done your part. All you can do is really just offer it to God. Syempre, God will give you what you deserve.
Now, what are our tips for during the exam? Make sure you only bring what you need.
Things that you will need would be, of course, your writing materials. Bring extras, definitely. Your erasers, snacks, and bring water. Wear a watch, just so you can keep track of time better.
Bring jackets because you might have a literal mental breakdown if you're freezing.
Better if you keep yourself warm during an exam. Some testing sites are really air-conditioned and some aren't naman. But of course, it's best if you come prepared.
After the exam, our last tip for you for this whole video is to pray.
Alay nyo na yung ginawa nyo kay Lord. At this point, it's just a waiting game. All you can do is really just pray to God that He gives you what you want and gives you what you deserve. So those are our college entrance test preparation tips. There's no exact formula on how you can pass your sets. These are just tips from our own experiences. We just wanted to share it with you guys because it might help. But of course, each person has their own way of studying, reviewing for the college entrance exam. Some people don't even study at all and they get to pass all the top universities in the Philippines. Do it at your own pace and try to learn during the process.
As promised, the link of the reviewer that I've made for my college entrance test can be seen on the screen right now. And my disclaimer is that I wrote these with the help of different research materials. These are the very basics of the subject matters that might be included. It's still up to you on how you're going to use them and apply them in the actual test. I'm no expert on any of these subject matters as I'm still a student myself. I'm an incoming college student and I just wanted to share these reviewers because these were the reviewers that helped me very much when I was going through the process of applying and reviewing for the college entrance test. I'm sharing these in the hope that this will also be able to help you alongside our tips. I was lucky enough to be able to pass all the 4 college entrance tests that I applied to. It's good to dream big, but it's also important to do the work. That's what we've learned from our experiences.
If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel.
We'll see you in the next vlog. Bye!